Manar, you decided to set up Stake during the worst financial crisis in living memory. What were you thinking?
Well, to be honest, it's not entirely a conscious decision. We started the business or set out to launch the business a few months before COVID hit because we saw the problem in the market that we want to solve for. And COVID just accelerated that problem, I think, or accelerated the relevance of the solution that we're setting out to build. So really, it's about the build up to the stage where when we decided to say, hey, this is a very, very relevant and prevalent problem that we want to solve for, which is the lack of returns that most real estate investors are having to experience in the market. I've always been fascinated at the amount of capital that Dubai attracts, and being exposed to that through one of my best friends, Rami, whom we go way back, and I've seen his career grow and flourish in real estate. And as an investment banker in my life, my professional career has been in finance. I was always amazed at the amount of inefficiency in that allocation of capital to the real estate market in Dubai, going to the wrong places, where I always thought that there's a better way of putting that money to use and materializing returns for investors. And so we set out to build out a product, an investment product that radically improves the status quo and delivers returns immediately to the real estate investor.
So I want to take a step back because we covered quite a lot there, and I want to talk a bit about you. So talk to us about your career. What did you do before you decided to set up Stake?
Sure. So
you hinted at it already.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So, but my professional career has been in finance. I spent 10 years at Deutsche Bank, which was a school being exposed to so many smart people in investment banking, doing structured transactions for large corporates.
What does that mean, structured transactions?
Structured transactions are effectively investment, so lending transactions in credit. So we were doing debt to help companies raise finance to invest that money
back in the
wisely
business
and make great returns on that investment.
Right.
So that's how typically capital structures of companies are divided, equity and debt. And for the equity holders, the corporates, the governments, the quasi-sovereign entities want to deploy their capital the best way possible by investing in capital expenditures or buying out companies or borrowing against their assets. And so when they do that, they enhance their returns. Ultimately, everybody's ultimate goal is to get the best return, even in the corporate world. Yeah. Not just in the personal investing game. And so I was always exposed to that institutional way of looking at capital allocation, capital raising, and structuring capital for most efficient use. And that's why I used that term before, because I always viewed it as quite inefficient the way the real estate market in Dubai typically operated, with as much capital going into the off-plan development market for investment purposes. For end users, it may make sense to buy something off-plan that you want to get delivered to you over the next 2, 3, 4 years while it's being constructed, and then while the developer can give you a good product in the end that you trust. It's all well and great, but when you're investing in such a product, I find that there's a much better alternative with investing in secondary market opportunities that pay you, that perform from year one.
So you saw that the investor wasn't getting the deal they should, by investing off plan. You saw a problem, you saw inefficiency, and so you and Rami got together and said, how can we solve this?
Correct.
And then what happened next?
Correct. I mean, Rami was at the front line, seeing these guys get their fingers burnt, average retail investors. I've been, sometimes in the past actually on the the receiving end, the short end of the stick, as they say.
Yeah.
Before with my own experiences, and maybe because I was also inexperienced and I was not, as I didn't have as much access to information as I should have had. And so those decisions were made without the full benefit of being informed, which is really another pain point that we want to tackle with our platform, to be able to make our investors take the most informed decisions through availability of as much transparency as possible as to what it is that they are actually buying into straight from day one, and what they're signing up for, most importantly, because it's a long-term activity. Investing should be viewed as a long-term activity at the end of the day. So that's really, tackling the pain points that the average retail investor is experiencing all together through one product. I think it was a great way, our platform was a great way to kind of kill many birds with one stone.
And so you went through the whole process of building tech. Neither of you were from a tech background. You were from the finance and property side. But for me, tech is just an enabler. So as long as you get a great guy who can build tech on board and a great team, your focus was on the consumer and the solution to the problem. So you built this incredible platform. We've launched. Talk to me a bit about how you feel about the future. What excites you? What keeps you awake at night? And where do you see this company going?
Sure. Just to touch on the tech side of things, yes, it's been a very steep learning curve for us as a group of co-founders and as a team. We have obviously combined our skill sets, myself and Rami, from an investment standpoint and from a real estate front-facing, client-facing standpoint, with Rami's sales and marketing expertise, understanding the consumer, as you rightly point out, and being able to develop both of an investment product and a tech product, ultimately to setting out to get all the components right is a big challenge, and that excites me. That keeps me awake. I think the product that we're building is so innovative for this market, especially. We are it's a purely greenfield market that we're opening up, and there's such a strong affinity for real estate investing in our region that I feel it is already starting to resonate that you can own property in a different way and so fast from the comfort of your home, and start to make returns and put your money to work, make it grow, position it to make it grow over time in the most safe and steady way as possible. I think for me, what excites me is to enable the everyday investor to get the best out of his savings. That financial inclusion aspect of what we're doing, and helping ultimately the investor community out in the region, and even from where investors typically come to Dubai for parking, for investing in real estate, giving them an alternative that is a lot more performing, a lot more, that creates wealth in a more efficient way.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris.